All right, another new episode, the playoff edition. We've been waiting to say that for a long time. Playoff edition of the Big Blue Report. My name is Randy Zellea from backsportspage.com. With me, as always, the two-time Super Bowl champion, former defensive captain of the New York Football Giants, Jonathan Casillas. Big Daddy D, Ryan Darlington, the professor, is with us as always, and special guest. I think we might be able to call him the president of the Giants fan club. He is. I think he is Absolutely. The man. Like everything Giants. He is not only the super fan that we've seen all over the place, but he also has a heart of gold for what he does for making everybody around him better. Joe Ruback, the license plate guy. Thank you for joining us this week, my friend. We really appreciate it.
What a great introduction. Honestly, I think my introduction was a little better than the two-time Super Bowl champ one.
We've seen him. We talked to him.
Joe, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-record that, and you can make that your phone ring if you want.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can always do that. So, guys, we finished out the regular season this past weekend in Philadelphia. Davis Webb filled in for Daniel Jones quite well. I was so happy for Davis that he got a start. That was his first ever start in the NFL. Joe, you and I have, and JC, we've been around him since 2017. It was just a great thing for him. LPG, you were in the building in Philadelphia. What was the feeling like as far as the Giants faithful going into a game where we didn't have much on the line, but we were sort of just letting guys sort of just play?
Well, I mean, you kind of nailed it. We weren't going to let the guys play. We're already going into Philadelphia where the atmosphere already stinks. I mean, I hate going in no matter what, to be honest with you. The funny thing about Philadelphia is if you go there as a fan and Philly loses, you got to watch yourself.
You're in it.
Mm-hmm. If you go in there as a fan and Philly wins, you got to watch yourself. So it really doesn't matter what. But this was a case of Philly fans were already happy that they were playing the Giants because of their success versus the Giants. They're already happy knowing that the Giants were going to sit key players. So maybe they didn't drink 19 beers. Maybe it was just 16. So they were okay. Now it's funny that you said the Davis Webb part because before the game, I don't always have access to the field. I would love it, but I don't. And I consider myself lucky when I do get it. And I happen to get it. And I happen to be standing with Webb's family.
Nice.
And, I think I tweeted a picture of his cleats and his legs. And I was like, guess the starter, So, but he's standing next to me and you could tell that he was seriously pumped and his family, his parents, and I don't know if his wife or his girlfriend, but it just wife and girlfriend. But they were standing literally right next to me, and they were so proud and so happy. And you're right. I feel so good for the guy because he finally got a shot. Look, the only thing the guy's ever won is home run derby in one of my Landon Collins softball games. So I really want him to win this game, for his sake. You know what? Here's a question for JC real quick. I was happy for him. Does playing in a meaningless, and it's not meaningless because you're in the damn NFL.
That's right.
But in a meaningless game, does that take anything away for Webb in that game?
No. You know why? Because when you look at the stats, it's there. 2 touchdowns, baby. Rushing touchdown, which was an incredible
rush. Oh, my God, yeah.
It's a good run.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Hey, I was like, oh.
I jumped up. We were like, ah.
Hey, and it goes into the benefit of being a quarterback where the defensive back was a little bit apprehensive to hit him at first.
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
It's a little too late. But look, you got to be happy for the guy. I seen him at the holiday party and I spoke to him, and he looks so much mature now. He got the big beard and everything. He was a baby when I was with him back in 2017.
Facts.
He went on and went into other teams and had a great relationship with the Buffalo Bills enough to where he's like, man, I got an opportunity to coach there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, really? That's interesting. What are you going to do? What are you thinking? It's like, man, I really want to, get a job. I really want to be on a team. I want to be on a team. And I'm like, look, 1 of 32 at that position, quarterback, is that's almost impossible. Literally is 1 of 32 guys in the world, right? I said, but 1 of 64. a backup quarterback in the NFL. I think Davis Webb can do it. I think he has the talent to do it. I think he has the mind to do it. And I think he has the professionalism to do it as well. And look, it's his dream. He wants to do it. And I think this game for him was like, I know I can play in this league. He went against the ones. The Eagles didn't sit no guys out, bro.
Right.
The Eagles played their guys. And he had some success. And Joe, you know what I like so much about it after the game? He was accountable. He said, first thing he said, I should have played better. And I'm like, all right, that's for me, that's like, look, you understand the game. You're not, full of yourself. You're not like, man, I scored 2 touchdowns. I did what I was supposed to do. He was like, I got to play better. And this is what New York teams love. We love accountability. That's why, sorry to talk about him, that's why nobody really likes Zach Wilson. Because if he would have just said there, but like, look, I got to play better. I'm, this the times that I've struggled. I know I got to play better. I'm just working at practice. Everybody would have been like, all right, kid, we get it. You know what I mean? You're young. You're second year. We know you got talent, and you got a team around you that believe in you. But once he started not being accountable for himself, that's when he lost the team. And I think a quarterback that's whatever age he is, young, old, whoever, if you play well and you're saying the right things, you galvanize the team. And Zach Wilson didn't do that. I think Davis Webb did that last weekend. I think he pushed the team. And look, Kenny Golladay got a touchdown. Guys, like, wow.
I don't care. Going back to the Webb thing, it's so funny that you just brought that up. So first of all, you're right. It's like somebody getting their chance in Major League Baseball to get an at bat, and they get one at bat and they're done for the rest of their career. And it's like, but I got my at bat. So I'm with you on the Webb thing. That was well said. And let me tell you something. I don't want to talk about it right now because we're in the playoffs. But if Kafka goes and somebody comes up to be the offense coordinator and somebody like a Webb goes in to be the quarterback's coach, that can happen.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't have to be in pads this year, right? He said at the very beginning of the season, he was like, this is my last shot. This is my last go. This is the final opportunity that I'm going to have to be a player. So he knows that the next year after that, I mean, before even this past year, he knew he was going to end up with a clipboard in his hand, right? At the end of the day, he knows he's going towards that coaching element, but he wanted to give it one last shot. And I guess that's why I was so overjoyed to see him play as well as he did, to see him throw a touchdown to somebody that nobody else could fucking throw a touchdown to this year, right? So just amazing success for a guy that deserves it.
Let's talk about that because JC brought it up and now you did. Look, I don't care if you hate the guy. I don't care if you talk about his contract till you're blue in the face. I don't care about the $72 million or the $18 that he's making this year alone. If you didn't have some kind of pit in your stomach for happiness for that guy and the way the Giants reacted towards his touchdown, then you're dead to me. Because I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what you feel about the guy. Horrible contract, not worth it. See you later after the year. All that stuff. I felt so happy for him, man. So happy.
Yep, he got one.
Yeah, and we've been very critical on this show of him. Like, we joke around sitting there saying that, Ryan's had one more catch than, or he has one more touchdown than I do in the season. Like we joke around about it, but the simple fact of the matter is, you're right. If you didn't feel joy because the amount of, and from a media perspective, like, you guys don't even hear the half of the ripping on him that goes on that happens privately in that room. Joe, you know all the writers. JC, you know all the writers. New York media is the toughest media in the country because, one, they hold everyone to a higher standard. And if you're getting paid $72 million, they expect you to perform. And if you're not, they're going to rip you apart. Some of it's warranted, some of it's not. Look, we've seen in every sport in New York where a guy gets a big contract and sometimes they underperform. It happens. But the key is it can't affect the team. The team was winning without it. So they found they found a way to win games even when Kenny was struggling. So I think
he handled it. He
handled it with class because he didn't go off.
I gotta tell you a really funny story. So he really was a professional. So Kenny Golladay promised me, like, when he first signed with the Giants, I was extremely happy. Like, you talk about the number one receiver on 50-50 balls. My friend who sits next to me at all the games is a fantasy machine. So we'll be at Giant games and be like, Galladay scored again. I'm like, shut the hell up already. I don't care about that guy. So, all I ever heard was Galladay. So Galladay becomes a Giant, and I immediately, great signing.
Yeah.
I went out, make some of his jerseys. I see him in his first game. He's like, oh my God, it's a great jersey. I'm like, I got a couple that I want you to sign, and I give it off to charity. He goes, you got it. Never signed him, right? But I've always wanted to send him a message. But because of the crap that he gets, Kenny Galladay has turned off his social media. You can't message him. You can't do this. You can't do that. Guess when his social media turned back on?
Yeah.
He must have got into the locker room and turned that shit on to hear the good stuff, man.
Give it to me. But, hey, LPG, listen. And I was on BBK or whatever, Big Blue Kickoff, right? I was on there earlier with Schmelke, talking to Schmelke. And, I was like, look, I was able to hang out with them after, they clinched the playoff spot. And I went with them, and I was hanging out with Kenny Galladay. I got a chance to talk to him a little bit. And you know how it is. When you talk to somebody and you speak to them and you're like, man, I like this dude, man. He's actually a good dude, right?
Yes.
But then you look at the tribulations that he's had since he's been in New York. Like, you got to think he was a high-level receiver. The reason why they paid him before he did the 2 years, it was very much well-deserved. At that point when he got that contract, and not too many people, I won't say nobody, not too many people was like, why'd you sign him? Like, everybody kind of knew what he did over in Detroit, right? Then it go 2 years, right? This is a professional athlete. He's been playing football for a very long time. You think he's used to not catching passes, dropping passes?
Nice face.
You know what?
No,
I want that face cropped. I want it signed, and I want it on my wall.
On the wall.
Somebody screenshot this right now, because I want that signed on my wall.
I just want to go on record saying that's going to be a fat head at the next home game.
That's fantastic.
Hey, Randy, if you could get me that by tomorrow, I will put it in Minnesota.
And just to what he was saying too, like, again, when he came over, obviously expectations were high, and this is what we were looking to see out of him. And also sometimes it's also that you get stuck in a situation where with the scheme, the offensive scheme, and sometimes there's certain players and certain type of offenses. There's been times we were very critical of Daniel, not in the last few years, but this year also. Like, it took. The bye week was a big thing, because that was supposed to be the week that they talked to Saquon and Daniel about their contract extensions. Yeah. And then, we had heard in the media room that there was no negotiation with Daniel, but there was talks with Saquon. So go ahead, Joe.
No, that's correct. And I happen to be two-time Super Bowl champion.
He's back.
Let's just have it.
You know what the best part was?
With Blake. This got to be LPG. This got to be LPG. This never happened.
I just want to let you do it. You have to see the screenshot of your face that we took, because it was like this.
I said I want that picture signed by Jonathan Casillas, and I'm gonna put it on my wall.
I gotta see that one. But I would just talk about Kenny Galladay and look at how happy I was for him, because I know how much it means to people in the NFL, especially. Look, I've heard he cares. I heard he practices hard. I heard he catches passes after practice. And if you're doing all of that and you're not producing, like, that's really, really tough, man. That's really, really, really tough. Like, that's really hard to do. And then he had to turn off his social media because you get so much hate from him. I hated him at one point this season, and I don't like hating players, because I feel like I know what it takes to be, a player. And I've struggled at times because of injuries and, lack of experience at times. Like, I've been there, so I understand it. But to see him catch that, I was elated. I know he was elated. How he handled it, gave the credit to Davis Webb afterwards. Like, I'm like, man, that's what I'm talking about, man. Like, good job, Kenny Galladay. Good job.
And just like you said, it's being the professional, and getting back to JC, what you said about, like, the hate. Like, look, Randy brought it up before. It's kind of what we do here in New York. If you're not producing or you're not doing anything, you're gonna get it. I mean, look how many people wanted, death of Richie James. Meanwhile, without Richie James, maybe you don't win a couple of games. So just don't put him in kickoffs. But anyways, punt return. But look, it's what we do as fans. And I don't care whether you're in the media or not, all three of you guys, or me as a fan. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we are all fans of the New York Giants. Either you played like JC or you root like we do. So at the end, you have a say. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we jump on the hate bandwagon. Sometimes.
Yeah. And now I'm very proud. Sorry for Ryan, but I'm very proud to welcome into the show number 21. Number 21 on the field. Number 1 in your hearts. No, we got number 21 to join us.
Turn on your video, LC.
There he is.
There he is. What's up, man?
What's up, man? How are you? Thanks for coming on for a few minutes.
No problem. No problem.
So I know you and I talked a little bit in the locker room about it, but how's it feel to be back in Big Blue land?
It's awesome, bro. It's awesome. It's a blessing. Exciting. Glad to be back. Feel like home. Should have never left.
I hear that. Hey, welcome to the hood too. Welcome to the block. That's what's up. Yo, Landon, real quick, Randy, before you get into it, let me ask my dog something real quick.
Go ahead.
Landon, I don't know how many times in your career that you've been on like the practice squad or the practice team or the red shirt team. I don't know how many times you did that, but you did that this year. You were at home, and then you basically, I don't know, humbled is the right word, but you kind of had to like earn your stripes, bro. Like you wasn't all pro, and look, I know that's kind of how it goes sometimes where you had to learn, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, how was that? How was that going through that?
I enjoyed the process, honestly. That was my first time going through it. I mean, I looked at it as just waiting for my opportunity. Honestly, it was coming. They didn't bring me on this team just to be on the practice squad. You feel me? So that's how I kind of went about it each and every day, and just waited on that opportunity for my name to be called upon. And when I did, I had to show up and show out. And
that you did, my man.
Appreciate it.
It's fantastic stuff. I mean, it must have been challenging because they switched your position, right? I mean, you were starting as a safety, and then you kind of have this new sort of role as the linebacker that's downhill, and you're still in coverage, but you're trucking motherfuckers at the line too, So it's
I try to do a little something. They still use me as a defensive back. I'm more of a coverage kind of linebacker, if you would say. On certain downs, I definitely can play the run. I'm good in the box. I don't like the linemen, so I'm always going to say that.
Hey, me and you both, LC.
I'm always going to be a safety. Always, I can still play that at a high level. I think so. Just this is where I have to play at this moment, and I'm taking it with stride for sure.
One of the happiest moments of this season is when I saw you do that pick 6 in Indianapolis, against Indianapolis, man. That's fantastic stuff.
Man, thank you, man. That's appreciated.
And JC and Landon, I have to ask that question of when you got that pick 6, that stadium was rocking at that point. Is that the loudest for both of you guys? Is that and LPG? You can answer that too. Is that the loudest you guys have heard that stadium in a long, long time?
Well, I was in the press box. You don't really hear it really in the press box.
You can hear it. You can hear it.
Look, you're asking. First of all, you can't ask JC's in the press box. Definitely don't ask LC, because LC was just out of it after that.
Yeah,
he got mobbed by everybody you could possibly imagine. So I'm sure, what you go through after that, you probably don't hear anything. But listen, MetLife is not the loudest stadium in this league, man. And there was not a lot to cheer about, for a long time.
A while.
So for a while. And, I'm telling you that it was loud as hell, man. And I mean, I must have called when LC got back to the bench. I must have called his name 50 times. And normally it only takes me once when he turns around, and be like, fuck you, whatever. And it took me 50 times to get his attention. So it was rocking. He got that place rocking.
Definitely try to. I try to do my best just to give some inspiration, give some, some spark to whatever we're doing, and trying to, always try to bring home that win.
Now, I have the real question for everybody. Okay. Now, Landon, you got to explain yourself with this, okay?
Oh boy.
Okay.
What's up with this? Hold
Ah.
on. What's up with that?
Oh, come on. What is this?
Nice.
Nice.
The fit. Oh man, got the Keith James hat on with the Louis Vuitton, made by Virgil. May he rest in peace. Design jacket with a little, button down shirt. It was just, just really giving my appreciation to Verge.
Right.
That's about it.
Right
well,
there.
first off, I gotta say I want my hat back. Second of all,
that's that split.
Yeah, and I will tell you, when we got back up to the media room, your outfit was definitely the talk of, not even about the fact we're in the playoffs. You saw Jordan Renan and Ryan Dudley and a bunch of those guys goes, did you guys see what Landon was wearing? I was like,
Dialing.
Yeah,
Landon be putting it on. Hey, Landon, put that on.
Yeah, I got to.
LC, 2016, right?
Yeah.
That was rookie year, right? First year?
My second year.
Your second year. Yep. You first of all, you had a tremendous year, and like I've spoke about you so many times, like, because we played next to each other a lot, and
right.
Like I remember, I think it was the first Green Bay game when you hit that fullback on the sideline. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, no, that was the playoffs.
That was the playoffs. Oh my gosh, bro! Like I was running over there, and all was like, wow! I was like, oh.
I guess I go back.
And then so the team that we had was outstanding. Defensively, we were connected as a unit, and that was right. That was your second year in that defense, and you were very comfortable. You were a tremendous player. The locker room was crazy. We was playing games all the time. How do you compare this team to that 2016 team that went to the playoffs last time?
Bro, honestly, it reminds me of 2016 team. The only thing that's the difference was I was the youngest one on the defense.
Yeah.
I'm now the oldest one, and this team is the youngest. You know what I'm saying? So it's the roles has reversed.
Yeah.
But no, bro, this team is very together. Like they do everything together, like we did. They watch film like we did. We have conversation. We have real conversations like we did in those meeting rooms. We have heart to heart. We have very transparent. Bro, it reminds me every bit of 2016. You feel me?
This strikes me as one of the first healthy Giants teams. Now, I'm not talking about physically healthy, right? I mean, you talk about
now, not the year.
No, I'm not talking about physical health, right? I'm talking about like as a team, you don't have those spots where there's fuck that guy. You don't have those spots where there's I don't want to say a cancer in the team, but it just seems like there's a cohesion. It seems like there's a unity, and it seems like the people that are on this team are playing for one another. In addition to all of the responsibilities that they have for the fans and all that kind of stuff, they're playing for each other. They're playing for love of the game, and it's just a bunch of kids out there on the field playing ball, and I love that. I love that.
Definitely. These kids love the game. They're learning. They're asking questions. They're not afraid to ask questions. And Wink is putting everybody in position just to win, and then everybody can play the same position. He moves us all over the field, and you could be anywhere. You could be a corner, you could be a nickel, a safety, everything.
Positionless defense, as Wink called it, positionless defense.
There you go, basically.
Yeah. Hey, LC, have you been called the old head yet?
Bro.
We're not gonna talk about that.
Yes.
No, listen. When I was in New York, right, Jarrell Adams, he was like, "What up, old head?" I was like, are you talking to me? I was like, and he's like, yeah, bro. And he walked away. And I looked back at DRC. I said, DRC, I'm an old head. He said, yeah, your ass old, bro.
Sorry.
Yeah, they called me OG now, bro. I'm OG. Like, dang. So I'm the OG thing now, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy to be called the OG. And I'm like looking at it like, damn, I still feel young, like crazy young. Like I feel like I'm still running with them boys, but
you blessed to be called the OG in the game, bro.
Here.
That's a blessing for real, bro.
I agree.
You take care of your body, you do what you can do, but there's some luck involved. You look at Hamlin and everything that happened to him, they're like, oh, did he have a pre-existing heart condition? No, that was a freak of nature accident that happened. But that's what happens in football. We never seen something to that extent. Right. But we ACLs, me, Achilles. I had a Liz Frank injury that like bro, I don't know if you know, Landon, when I was in college, I ran 4.3. You know what I mean? I was a blazer. I was one of the top guys in the state of New Jersey when I was coming out, right?
Yeah.
When I hurt my foot, I couldn't run like I used to. You know, I couldn't run. Luckily, I was able to bounce back, kind of change my game a little bit, and also with the neck injury that I had. But they weren't like career-ending injuries early in my career, right?
Right.
Which we've seen a lot of guys have. So, of course, you know, you're doing everything you can to prepare your body. You know, you're studying, but then there's a lot of luck involved too when it comes to having an 8-9 year career like you're on right now.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, definitely that. Just I've got on my side. You know, God's always first. So, bro, praying to Him and making sure He gives me as much as I can, lets me use this talent, this gift that He's put upon me to showcase whatever I got and use my platform to just continue building and helping others. You know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest part for me.
Let's talk about that. You guys are involved in a little bit of a softball game, from what I understand. Is that right? You and LPG?
Yeah. Definitely. Big softball game. One of the best out there.
Talk about that.
In 3 years' time, you know, raising over $115,000.
Yeah.
And it literally came, you know, because Landon, I mean, I thought I would have to I went down to Orlando to ask him to do the game because we had spoken about it one other time at some Steiner event. Yeah. And I just asked him a question. I was like, hey, do you want to do a charity game? He's like, okay, what? I'm like, I don't know. I just asked you if you want to do a game. He's like, sure, what do you got? I'm like, I don't know. I'm a softball player. He goes, bet. Like literally said bet. And that was it. Yep. And, you know, I couldn't ask for a better person to get involved with because he literally lets you run with what you run with. He had tremendous, you know, respect and trust. And the next thing you know, what's my job? My job is to run a great game and to make sure that Landon looks good at the end of it with however much money we could give to charity. And I remember one time asking Landon, I'm like, look, we can split this charity-wise. We could give some to here and some days like, I want to give a big ass check to somebody. Yeah. And I'm like, say less. And that was it.
Yep.
That was it.
And I will tell you for someone who's there for all the games, from a media perspective, I never seen so many happy Giants fans. There was not one Giant fan who leaves there disappointed. Everyone is happy because everyone's getting to an experience. And I think that's one of the greatest things of LPG about your events is it's an amazing experience. You're meeting the players in a way that they've never met them before. You have players going out in the stands.
Yeah.
Signing autographs.
You know what, Randy, that was key right there because look, I got an event coming up in a couple of weeks. It's a Manning event. I teamed up with Fanatics and it's going to be with Peyton, Eli, and Archie. Nice. Okay. And why I bring that up is because it's like $10,000 to get in. And you know, you look at something like Landon and I ran, it was $20 a ticket.
Yeah.
And you had Super Bowl 42 and 46 and the current Giants 16, 17, 18 that would literally go into the stands. People walked home with like 50, 60, 70 autographs for $20.
Yeah.
So it was really important to give back to Giant fans, especially after some of the seasons they had. So it was important to do that. So, you know, who knows? Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we got another one coming up. You never know.
And
never know.
Go ahead, Randy.
Real quick. And I just have to ask this question too, because I haven't had a chance to ask Landon this or Joe, because I know it means a lot to Joe. How much did it get everybody fired up to see LT run out of that tunnel? We talk about former Giants. Seeing LT come out of that tunnel before the game against the Colts, not only getting the fans fired up, but it must have gotten you guys fired up on the sidelines too.
Oh, definitely. Seeing the legend come through there, man, it's major. Just knowing what he's brought to the game, how he's changed the game, how he's the focal point, how he was a focal point into this Giants organization, man. It's big time. So we was definitely lit up. We was ready to go. We were excited and ready to play.
JC, that's the real O-head.
Yeah, that's OG. LT, one of those guys, when you see him, it's like, you go up to him like, should I go say something to him? Like, you know, like,
right. You're very right.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, LT, like, you know.
The best part about LT is he could talk as much shit as the next person.
Yeah.
Like if you come at him sideways, he'll talk to the, hey, was it me or was he so fired up? He almost like, I think he almost like went down for a second when he came out of that tunnel. Was it me? I don't know if you saw it, Landon. He almost went down.
I didn't see it.
He almost broke the bell.
That's what I was gonna say.
He almost broke. He was like, and all of a sudden, was like, oh, that thing's gonna go flying. That's gonna hit somebody in the head.
That's a big fucking bell too.
I will tell you, I was almost gonna get ready to give him a set of pads and a helmet because I think he probably could have gone out there too and probably knocked someone's face out.
A couple of sacks.
Oh God, yeah.
Hey, fellas, you know how big I am when it comes to like the community work, especially here in New Jersey. Landon, I've been seeing you. I don't even know if you've been posting it, but I've been seeing you get posted by other people, and you've been around the community doing your thing. The Boys and Girls Club, who you been working with? Boys and Girls Club.
My foundation is the Humble Path Foundation, and I team up with the Boys and Girls Club because I was raised. I was part of that organization back down in New Orleans. So I was teaming up with them out in Jersey, over there in Jersey City.
That's my hood, baby.
Presents,
yes, it is.
Giving out presents, gave out some food for Christmas. And I think that's really about it. That's about the last two things I've done since I've been with the Giants up here this past year. But yeah, just doing that. Also being teamed up with single moms down in Washington, D.C., still doing that. Also teamed up with a boxing arena down in DC for kids that's living in single parents homes and barely have any food to get passed out some food line cards that's like a grocery store that's down there to give out that so they can get some food. Each one had like $50 on it just for them to grab whatever they wanted to grab because their boxes, they have the nutrition is a big key for them. What else?
Your backpack thing was always key too.
My backpack thing. I don't think we got the chance to do it this year.
Not here.
Yep. Yeah, but we always stay in tune with it. And what else? That's really about it for right now. But yeah, I'm definitely into the community, trying to give back and use my platform for that because it's a blessing. And sometimes some people can't get what we can get on a regular. So it's a big time for me to just be able to do that.
That's funny that he says, yeah, that's it for now. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, the 6-7 things.
Right, the things that he's doing.
Oh, yeah, that's it for now.
It says a lot about you.
Who needs sleep? Who needs sleep?
LC, that says a lot about you, bro. That says so much about you. I know what it takes to become a football player in the NFL. That takes a lot, on a day-to-day basis. The season is very tough, and you're doing stuff in season, and you got kids too. Like, you got a family, you got to take care of people, and you out there helping other people. I tip my hat off to you, bro. I commend you for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Joe, you are a community icon as well.
Yeah, man.
Me and Joe been getting into it because our few years we do the camp and the game on the same day. Yeah, LC did both one year, right? LC, camp and then did the softball game. Again, I appreciate you showing up. Yeah. Like I'm like every year, I'm like, yeah, Landon Collins came. Like, I'm always dropping the name. You know what I'm saying? But look, it speaks a lot to me because I'm a Jersey guy, through and through. And for you, Landon, coming here, you're not from here. You're from Louisiana. You come here and, like you said, you made this your home. And then, Joe, the stuff that you do on a consistent basis, we just did like a fan appreciation dinner the other day, and you could just see how happy they was, man. And like, yeah, they saw me, but they saw Nick Gates. When Nick Gates walk in, they're like, oh, look at Nick Gates, man. Yeah. Like, he's like a walking legend with his story that he's been through. So again, tip my hat up to both of you guys. And Joe, can you speak to what you do and why you do what you do in the community and stuff like that?
I mean, truth be told, I would just set out to be a fan like everybody else. But when the Giants were going through a rough spot, I want to do something else. There wasn't much to cheer about in social media land or anything. The Giants won a game, and the next day I bought coffee for 2 people behind me at Dunkin' Donuts. That literally started everything because the Giants went on to win another game, and someone hit me up on social media and was like, hey, what's your Venmo? I'm like, for what? It's like, I want to buy someone coffee. And now it has taken off. I get $400, $500, $600 every time the Giants win. Kyle Rudolph gave me $800. This last time he gave me $2,700 because he matched what we raised.
Wow.
Joe Judge gave me X amount of dollars. Like, and just spitballing that into everything. Truthfully, I think it took off because of Landon. If it wasn't for Landon and I doing that softball game, I don't think I would have had the platform to do anything else. And, you know, surprise to you, JC, you didn't even know, and definitely not you guys. When I do the big tip dinner, which is where JC joined me the other night at Nick Gates, you know, to give some waitress $1,000, you know, LC was coming. He had his 2 kids in the city going to see the tree. And he's like, yo, I'm on my way. And I'm like, we're leaving in like 5 minutes. Don't come. Don't come. Well, like, it just goes to show you, and I say this all the time to you, JC, all the time. Good people hang around with good people.
Yep.
And when you do good things together, everybody gets a piece of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that. For you guys too, like, I remember a video, I think it was like a raffle from the softball game, or it was something that somebody won from their softball game, and you showed up at their house.
So wait, that's actually funny. So that's another thing about Landon. Like he's over here saying, yeah, 6 or 7 things. That's about enough. You know, I call him up and I said, look, we had a good sponsor for the game. If we don't get a sponsor for the game, there's no game. Like, it costs money to run these things, guys. You know, whether it's putting jerseys on the backs of the players, or getting people in the door, or securing the ballpark, or getting the equipment, it's money. So this one guy I hit up and I was like, hey, Landon, do you want to, you know, get on the phone, or, you know, I'd like to do something for him. He's like, where's he live? I'm like, no, get out of here, bro. No, for real, get out of here. And next thing you know, I asked the guy, I'm like, hey, listen, I want to drop some stuff off in your mailbox. JC, I don't know if you know this. And I pick up LC and I said, we're going to see the guy. And he's like, okay.
Cool.
And we knocked on the door. I never forget, Landon, do you remember we were on the driveway and I think the wife was walking up and I was like, this don't look good at all.
Well,
like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we going to chase this lady inside the house? She could be like, honey, there's 2 people coming up the drive.
Yeah.
And, you know, Landon was like, let's leave. I'm like, no, we got to do it now. And
yeah,
next thing we do, we knocked on the door, and the guy and his son literally, like, you could just imagine having, you know, the captain of the Giants at the time knocking on your front door and like, hey, what's up, man? Just want to say what's up. Crazy. It was great.
Awesome.
Well, you know, I will tell you, like, Landon, and you know, JC, I saw earlier this year, I saw JC come to my son's football practice, and he not only did he talk to the whole football program, but JC signed everyone's autograph. But he stayed there for God knows how long, and interacted with everyone who wanted to be interacted with. He was doing so many great things, and it's one of those things where you know, you guys, there's a lot of athletes who take for granted the success that they've had, and, you know, for what they've gained, and both of you guys have given back so much that it's an example for these younger guys. You know what I mean? And I think that it's not talked about enough. Not that it should be talked about, the actions that you guys do. It's the example that you set. You have a lot of guys who are very truculent when they talk to the media, and they walk around with attitudes, and they don't really do as much. But you watch the stuff that you guys do is, you scratch your head. You're like, why isn't this done more? You know,
good people do good things. Right?
Exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, good people do good things. And, you know,
and Joe, you're in that conversation too.
Hey, it's like we were saying before, you know, you picked a hell of a crew right here, because, you know, I bet you not one of these guys gave you a time frame. I bet you not one of these guys says, I got to go at a certain time. I bet you they're like, oh man, how many times you going to ask me? You get an ask, you get a what time, you get a no problem.
Well, Landon told me in the locker room, I said, we're going to get you on the podcast. He's like, yeah, just have JC message me. We'll get it done.
I don't think Landon or JC's ever said no. I don't even, I think they have to come up with some excuse, because they've never said the word no.
We have to have something scheduled already on those time periods for me not to have to do something. So once JC texts me, I was like, yeah, I'm ready.
Well, I offer the open invitation, because the next step for this show is going to be a live show in front of a live crowd, and you both obviously have an open invitation to join us. So we usually do something on this show called Story Time with JC, and because of the great stories, but we're gonna expand it out. Not only is it going to be Story Time with JC, it's going to be Story Time with LC and LPG. So I want to
go first. I want to go first.
He's got one this week.
I want to go first.
Let's hear it.
Go for it.
So, I don't know what year this was. LPG, you can help me. But he got, he got somebody that he knew affiliated with, somebody he worked with or something, and it was for an event for a Giant or a former Giant, and he was like, "Look, have you ever been to a bar mitzvah before?" And I was like, "No, I never have," and he was like, "Yeah, well, look, we got these people that, there's a bar mitzvah coming up, and you got to just show up and, maybe take some pictures, sign some autographs, kids, it'll be a good time." Let me tell you something, right? First of all, I go in there, right? It's first of all, it's packed, right, Joe? Yeah. It got a lot of people there. It's lit. The DJ, like all the kids dressed up in suits, they looking real good, right? So I'm having a great time. Like I'm in there mingling with everybody. But then there was one part, right, when the family was taking pictures, and I was like on the side, and they were like, "Come on, JC," and I was like, really? Like, you got me taking pictures with grandma and grandpa and stuff like that? Like, I was in there with grandma like this, bro. Like,
you're in the will now, man. Come on, you're in there.
Did they put you in the chair?
I forgot the name of the people, but JC and I laughed about that for a week because I'm like, you don't understand. Like, our bar mitzvah, like those people take the pictures and like, with the yarmulke and the Torah, and JC's in the picture. Like on the
mantle
wall, bro.
Right, on the
mantle. Your family. Yo,
I swear to God, when that kid grows older and like he brings a girlfriend or somebody over and be like, "Yeah, oh yeah, that was grandma's boyfriend at the time."
Grandma's a freak.
JC, did you go up in the chair? I'm
trying to think. Did we do that?
Yes, you did.
We did do that.
You did.
I got two. I would say that my nieces, but like a woman, her name is Lori Lazovic. She was my academic coach in high school, and she's like my second mom. Like so her daughters, I went to both of their bat mitzvahs after the bar mitzvah. And I was a part of that. I got a candle, which was fire. So that one, I was kind of like the special guest. But the other two that I was a part of, I was kind of in the bat mitzvah, which was dope. Like, first of all, they do it right. They do it the right way. Like it's not like party, everybody get drunk. It's real ceremonial. You know what I mean? It's real ceremonial. But they know how to turn up, and they know how to have a great time.
I just literally had
Joe. I had a great time that day.
JC, bar and bot. I'm proud of you, yo. Good. You know the difference.
I learned.
I just want to let you know that JC is now reminding me of Chris Tucker from Rush Hour. I'm waiting for him to say gefilte fish. That's what I'm waiting for right now. All right, Landon, let's go with you, brother. Story time with Landon. Let's hear one. What do you got?
We'll be telling the story about just what?
Anything.
Whatever.
Mine has to be. Mine will be another Joe story. Mine had to be with he invited me to the field with these high schoolers. I can't remember the high school. What high school was it?
Spring Valley High School.
Yes. So we go out there, and I don't think the kids know we were pulling up. I think it's myself, it's me, Jay Bradley, and I feel like one more guy came. I can't remember.
Me neither.
I can't remember. I want to say Will Ty. No, maybe.
Oh, it was Will Ty. The tight end. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's correct.
So we get there. We pull up. They don't know we coming. They figured out that who we were. They instantly get crazy, right? And they just make this big circle around us. So we we just like we kind of like hype men and stuff like that. So I think they was doing their testing at this time. They was doing their 40-yard dash, bench press. I think they did a squat out there. I think they had a squat.
They set up all of them.
Right. So they set up all this stuff out there, right? So they was asking us to do this. I think we just getting off of, but like it's our off day. So we just got out of camp. He's like, nah, we can't do none of that. We just trying to rest, but we gonna watch you guys and see what y'all talking about. And then we got to the bench press part, and they just kept on like telling us, "Hey, we can outbench y'all. We can outbench y'all. We can outbench y'all. We can do more than y'all." Da, da, da. I said, which one of y'all think I could be out? I said I can outbench your strongest lineman, D lineman, right? Their strongest D lineman benched around what I think 315.
3 plays.
Around 315. Yeah. I said, dang, that's strong. I say slap two more tens on there. Hit it like 10, hit it like 3 more times. So yeah, that was easy.
And then, I tell you, they fell out. They ran the length of the field.
Yeah. That was awesome.
You still
awesome.
benching like that right now, LC? You still
No. I said,
hey, JC, he's an old head. 2 places enough.
That's right.
That's it. I got to just stay strong. I got to make sure I can keep him off me. That's it.
Joe and Landon, Joe, I love lifting weights. I do. I love lifting weights. I love feeling like I'm strong. But during the season, like I ain't like, look, I like to go in the weight room, but I ain't trying to touch them weights, man. My shoulder be hurting, elbow be hurting. You mess around,
back be hurting.
You mess around to throw your back out trying to do some stuff during the season. It's crazy, man.
Is it more conditioning than anything?
Well, it's maintenance. It's maintenance, Joe. You gotta keep the muscles going. You gotta keep lifting. But some guys, like there's some guys, that lift, squat heavy all year long.
Yeah.
My body, my body wasn't. I wasn't one of those Rondé Barbers that never missed a game, Ray Lewis guys that never missed a game. My body wasn't built like that. I was always hurt. I always had some type of ailment going on, and I would hit training camp healthy. All of a sudden, halfway through training camp, I can't squat. The first 3 games, I can't bench no more. Now I'm doing auxiliary lifts with like 30s. Like, come on.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because when I used to swing by to play ping pong, Odell, he would be getting stretch therapy, Pilates, with the needles. What is that again?
Acupuncture.
You get acupuncture. And then I see Landon doing that stuff. I guess it is maintenance of taking care of your body, and yoga and Pilates and stretch and this and that, more than it is hardcore throw the weights on.
Correct.
It has to be. I guess so. I guess stretching would be number one, because, getting in on all them tackles, having an arm and a leg in a way that I would never even want it, you better be stretched out.
It's honestly just trying to keep your body as young as it can, doing these 17 games, honestly, or doing camp and doing the 17 games. It's about durability in the league, and how much you can perform. That's really what it's all about. And staying healthy is the biggest key. You stay on the field and produce, you make it.
How are you feeling going into this
great word, maintenance.
Yeah, for sure. How are you feeling going into this week's game?
Excited. Very excited. We got a great game plan going against these guys. It's going to be very exciting. It's back in the playoffs. They got a great team. They got some great players over there. So we know we got to key in and just lock in. But the sense of urgency is there. The guys are ready. The guys are excited. They're pumped, and we're ready for that action.
How beneficial is it knowing that you've already played them once and it went down to the wire? Knowing that
it's very beneficial, honestly, because we kind of know what they're about. Like, that's what it gives. We got that good feel, like, oh, we know how to really go against this team, and how we can attack their points, their weak points, and capitalize on it.
With some key guys back too, right? You got X back, you got Adoree back, you got just a ton of guys coming back in. That's gonna help.
Sir. Yes, sir. And then also with the guys that's backing them up, they're ready to play too, because at the end of the day, if somebody was to go down, it's next man up, and that we got to make sure that everybody's prepared. So yeah, that's the
story of this team.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
exactly. So Joe, LPG
story
time.
Man, I told you guys that I would have a Super Bowl story, but I'm gonna tell Landon one real quick, because I'm so happy he didn't get to tell it. So Landon and I become close through the softball games. And, season's about to start. I'm like, yo, Landon, I'm like, I see you got these, this handshake. So I had one with Odell. Like, I need one again, man. I miss it, to be honest with you. He goes, okay, let's make one up. We make one up. I go to his house every day, practice it every day. Landon, here comes Landon and Saquon. boom, first game, right over, comes over to me. I completely froze up, man. Yo, he looked at me right in my face. He's like, "You froze up." That's not even the funny part. After the game, I go to his house. I said, "I froze up." He already had his gloves from the game, and so Joe, you froze up. Landon Collins. There's somewhere on my wall right now. I'm like, yo, he just told me out. But I'll tell you a real funny Super Bowl story. So 2007 Giants go to the Super Bowl, and obviously I'm there and I'm sitting with Diassi family. The game ends, Giants win, and Diassi comes over and he says to the security guard, let my family on, let my family on. Disappears. So the security guard is right there, opens up the gate, boom, boom, boom. Next person, next person, next person. He looks me dead in my face and he's like, "Let's go. You coming?" I'm like, no. I'm not with the family. It could have been the dumbest freaking thing I ever did in my life. The dumbest shit I ever did in my life. So that ends. I cry for weeks, bro, about it. Weeks. 2011. I had become really close with Chase Blackburn. I tell his wife, I'm like, "Look, if you guys somehow make it to the Super Bowl, please take me on. I ruined my chance 4 years ago, blah, blah, blah. This will never happen again." So all of a sudden, I'm sitting in the same section as her. I got my ticket just because of that. The Giants win the Super Bowl. She's nowhere to be found.
Oh, no.
Now, I don't know if you know Dave Tolson's mom, but she's a very loud woman. And she was climbing over the first row to get on, and a security guard came over and was yelling at her. And I'm like, "That's Dave Tolson's mother. Don't you say anything." As I'm climbing with her, I shit you not. And then I'm on the field and I'm making, like you said, Randy, I'm making snow angels. And I had no business being on there, but it was the greatest thing in the world. And I'll top off the story with this. The players take all their pictures, all the snow angels, and go into the locker room for the celebration. Obviously, I'm not allowed in there. And they got like 5 more people that they're allowing up to touch the trophy. And I'm in line like, this is like some next level shit. If I'm going to take a picture with the trophy,
the night of,
I'm next to go up to this staircase, right? I'm like pumped up, and right next to me, I wanted to meet him so bad. Doesn't matter who it was. I'm like, "Yo, let me get a picture when I'm done." Bet? He said, "Absolutely." I turn around and Flavor Flav.
Oh, with the clown.
We talked about him.
Flavor Flav cut me, and he was the last one to go up. Yeah.
Flavor of love Joe ass.
Landon, when you win the Super Bowl this year,
yes,
I'm gonna need a picture with the trophy.
I got you.
Hey, it's Joe. Joe, we were talking a couple of weeks ago when the Giants won in 2011 and the NFL Network had the coverage, and Tom Coughlin got done and was walking off the stage. The first person who greeted him was Flavor Flav, and you heard the announcer say, "I'm not even sure that Tom Coughlin knows who Flavor Flav is." Meanwhile,
absolutely not.
This big clock is like hugging
the gold.
Yeah,
I'm like, I
was so mad, bro. I was so mad.
I got a quick one. So I'll start it and finish it, I guess, right? LC. So you know I got 2 of them things, right?
Yeah.
First time in New Orleans, I was a rookie. I didn't even know like what was going on. Like I recovered the onside kick. First of all, my dumb ass didn't get it with the ball. That was so dumb of me not to get with the ball. I let it go, like I had it, and I let it go because the referee had it, and then Chris Reese got it, and Chris Reese ran around the stadium with the ball in his hands, and I didn't realize the importance of that until like I went home and I saw Chris Reese all over the TV.
Right.
Like, I recovered that, right? So then after the game, like I'm not even conscious of taking pictures. Like I got 1 picture with the trophy, and it's with Reggie Bush and the running backs. But whoever took it didn't take a good picture. It was so blurry. Like you can't even tell who nobody is. That was the only picture I had with the trophy. Right?
No way.
Second time around, Joe, as soon as we won it, I said, I'm getting my hands on that trophy.
That's right.
And if you watch when the New England Patriots in 2015 to 14 team, when we beat the Seattle Seahawks with the Malcolm Butler interception, if you see Kurt Warner was bringing it out, he had white gloves on. And I was sitting there first like this. I was like this, give me that damn trophy. And I kissed it because nobody else's lips is on it yet. Mine was the first one. I got to kiss it, right? Boom. And then I'm chilling and I'm celebrating my mom. I found my mom, my dad. We hanging out. I do confetti angels. Like it's a great time. And then I see Brandon Bolden running around with the trophy. Brandon Bolden gets in the cart. I jump in the cart with Brandon Bolden. Who else was there? Lou Garrett Blunt. He was in the thing. And now we got the trophy driving around Phoenix Stadium around just to show the trophy off. Bro, I had the trophy in my hands for like 15 minutes.
Damn.
And then we pull up. The NFL is interviewing Darrelle Revis, right? We crashed the live set. And I run on set to give Revis the trophy, like, bro, we did this for you. And they're like, what are y'all doing up here? This is live. What are y'all doing? But see, that's the thing. When you win a Super Bowl, man, like
nothing matters. Everything.
It's all forgotten.
Yeah.
Man,
Hey, let me ask you two something, JC and LC. National championship, Super Bowl can only have one.
Ooh.
LC, you've been in both. Oh no, you've been in one. I've been in the other. Sorry.
Right.
Excuse me, Landon.
You can only have one.
I think it's harder to get to the Super Bowl than it is. Well, I went to Alabama.
Bama.
I went to Bama. It was pretty easy for us to get to the championship.
Whatever, LC.
It was second nature. It was second nature. So I think like me being in year 8, right? Being in year 8, only been to the playoffs 3 times. This is my 3rd time. Only playing in 1 playoff game, bro.
Yep.
It's hard to get there. So I think when I get to the Super Bowl, it's gonna mean so much more.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. But that championship, that Rose Bowl championship, hey, not many can say they got one either. So
facts.
I know.
And LC, like I think I made it to the Capital One Bowl twice. That was like, we didn't make it to the Rose Bowl or anything like that. But the bowl games was great. But I remember like throughout history, there wasn't really a national championship game.
Right.
It was just the bowl games and who was ranked number 1.
That's correct. That's correct.
Right.
So the Super Bowl has been around forever.
Right.
And when you're a kid, not that you don't envision playing in a national championship, not that, but the end goal is to play in the NFL and win a Super Bowl. Yes. That is the goal, so for me, it has to be that. And I'm jealous that I didn't get to play in a Rose Bowl or, whatever championship that would have been if we would have been ranked in the top 5 or whatever, that would put us at the national champion when I was in college. I'm jealous, but at the same time, I respect it, and I feel like this year, I think it's going to change possibly how we look at the national championship and how they do things moving forward, because you can't have what just happened. Let's be real about this.
Look.
Let's be
Alabama should have been in the championship. I don't care what nobody says.
Listen,
that is kind of what you would say, right?
But LC has a point. At the end of the day, we know, and look, I played in the Big Ten, and I got a lot of respect for the Big Ten. I think Ohio State's a SEC school possibly playing in the Big Ten because they're the cream of the crop when it comes to them, right? The only team that could possibly beat them on a year-to-year is Michigan because of the rivalry. Throw the record books out the window. That's the rivalry. But at the end of the day, look, and I know records matter and stuff like that, but like if 2 SEC schools aren't playing at the end of the year, unless it's Ohio State, unless it's Clemson, or unless it's somebody that went to one of those main conferences and ran through that schedule. Yeah. Because even the Big Ten, if you run through the Big Ten, you might not play Ohio State, you might not play Michigan, but you're going to play some really, really tough teams. That's going to punch you in the mouth.
You're going to play Wisco.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to play some quality teams.
Yeah.
And then if you can get through that schedule and get to somewhere, I don't know if TCU deserved to be there because of the teams that they play. And now that they talk about expanding the playoff system, it's gonna be worse.
Yeah, it's gonna change. I wonder if both your answers would have changed if I said, take you back to high school and I asked that same question. Because I might not have, because in high school you're probably thinking, I'm gonna go to a big time school because I'm a big time player and I'm probably gonna win a national championship. I wonder what your answers would have been. But the ultimate goal in sports is on the professional level. I mean, that's it. I mean, if I won 1 ring or 10 rings in college, I'd still need that Super Bowl win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
It's about that Super Bowl. So
LC, you up, baby?
Listen, I can't even relate to this. The closest
I'm going to get it, man.
You gotta go get it.
Get it. I promise you.
Listen, I can't relate to this. The only closest thing I ever won anything in football was in Madden, so I can't really.
That's right.
Gosh, Randy.
And he had to shut it off a few times before he was able.
Yeah, I had to restart the game a couple times. I'm not gonna lie about it. I really struggled.
Couple of rage quit.
Hey, that's a question too. I wanted to ask both of you guys. What's it like seeing yourself in a video game?
That was dope.
Yeah.
Huh? It's honestly, it was a goal of mine when I was a kid. I was like, I'm going to be on a video game. So yes,
that's awesome.
They get your speed.
I didn't even know that was possible when I was younger.
Right?
LC, you know what I mean? I didn't even know. And then I don't know which Madden it was, but it was
2000, 1999.
I'm talking about my rookie year when I was on it for the first time.
When you got in the league, I was probably playing with you.
Yeah, and then I remember. Look, because it was some questions like about like me in general, like my overall playing ability in the league. I was young, I had a knee injury coming in, but bro, they had my speed at 87 at linebacker.
I was just gonna ask.
LC. Listen, people used to come up to me and say, "Oh yeah, I just put you at middle linebacker, and I just make all the plays with you."
Yeah.
And I don't play Madden no more, but I used to play Madden. But boy, was that fun! Where you can go ahead and put yourself and smack guys around, or as a linebacker or a safety's case, a Landon's case, a safety. Like it's a surreal feeling.
JC. But then they found out about Liz Frank, and then you were 72.
Joe, they never dropped my speed, Joe. They kept it up the whole time, Joe.
Well,
and then I just heard some kid. I'm at a banquet for a flag football team in Jersey City at Mary Bethune Cookman Center, and I'm over there and I talk, and one of the kids comes to me. He's like, yeah, I play with you on Madden. And I'm like, bro, I'm not on Madden. Like, I retired a while ago. He said, no. I guess it's like a Legends or Dynasty or Fantasy or something like that. Yeah. He was like, I'm playing with you right now, Madden. And I'm like, I'm in Madden right now as I've been retired 5 years.
Yeah.
That's
living
fire.
Legend. Living
That's
legend.
fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what was funny during training camp this year, and JC and LC, you guys both know the way the Giants do their training camp is they have like sections where after practice players sign autographs. So it was I think Leonard and Dexter were signing autographs after practice, and a kid yelled at Dexter, "Are you happy with your Madden rating?" And you heard Dexter go, "What's a Madden rating?"
Really?
I think Dex don't know. And
Dex don't know that stuff.
Listen, he's too busy doing sack dances.
Yeah, listen, and that's
Phenomenal sack dance.
I love that one, man. I love it. You're
Yeah.
talking, you guys talking about practicing handshakes. I practice my sexy Dexy.
Yeah. I just want to let you know, now that you just did the little dance, Ryan, now it's one of those things that's going to haunt me for the next like week. So I just want to let you know that. Yeah, thanks. Real quick. So one of the things I always like to do at the end of the show is I'll let everybody sort of plug where they are and things that they have going on. So Joe, if you want to start, what do you have going on? Obviously, it's a big week. When are you heading to Minnesota, Joe?
Yeah, that's my plug, baby. Minnesota, and that's my only freaking plug.
There you go, baby.
My plug is going tomorrow. No, going Saturday. Freezing my butt off a little. So it's gonna be it's like summertime there. It's gonna be 20-something, 30-something degrees. It's gonna feel like 11, they said. So that's already warmer than it was when I was there last.
Bring your shorts.
And I'm super excited. Landon, I'm gonna hit you up. We'll get something to eat. Sunday, I expect a win. I come home Martin Luther King Day and sit on the couch and love life. Get ready for Philly.
I don't know if there's any other plugs we should really do at
Right.
that point.
Minnesota, baby.
That's really about it.
Yeah, well, I guess there's one more. Don't forget to listen to the pregame show with JC with Lance Meadow. Don't forget to check them out. They do a great job. Obviously, you're going to see Landon doing a bunch of pick sixes on Kirk Cousins. That's right. That's what we need to see.
Hey, honestly, before I go, honestly, JC, congratulations on the success in the field that you're going into right now.
Here.
You have a gift of the way you speak and treat people, and it's been noticed. So good for you.
Thank you, brother.
And Landon, you already know, stay the way you are. Don't ever change that humble in your name. You should actually change your Landon name to just humble. Should be Humble Collins.
Humble Collins.
Humble Collins.
Joe,
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out with the state. We'll make it work.
You know my mom not going for that.
Maybe change the middle name.
Not going for
That's
that.
cool.
Well, guys,
he came up with the middle name.
Oh, okay.
Guys, I can't thank you guys enough. This was a good hour.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, and especially I told a couple of you guys what I've been going through. I needed this. You guys don't know how much I needed this. So thank you so very, very much. Guys, check out the Big Blue Report. We're on all podcast platforms and all social media platforms. We'll be back next week celebrating a Giants win against the Vikings.
Yes.
Keep checking us out. Let's go, Big Blue. We'll see you next week on the Big Blue Report.
Let's go.